Let's make sure Vivian's in the shot. There we go. What is going on? How you guys doing today as our room fills up? I'm so excited to have you guys here for another Making the Case Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sure a lot of people's thoughts and prayers are definitely in Springfield, Illinois. I know mine are as well. As our room fills up, I want you guys to let us know where it is that you're viewing our session from. For you guys who is our first time tuning into our series, it's called Making the Case, where we have guests come on every Wednesday to share their journeys of navigating and manifesting their lawyer dreams. We've been fortunate and blessed to have amazing guests from lawyers, judges, law students, mental health experts, admissions directors. And so when you get an opportunity to make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out some of those episodes. The goal, of course, of Making the Case for you guys is, of course, for you guys to see people doing what you want to do, living and manifesting, and also, most importantly, I think, overcoming challenges. So that way you could see someone looking like you doing what you want to do. And so we have an amazing guest come on today. I'm really excited about it. Sis is one of one. Sis actually was texting me, messaging me back and forth during the storm while she was down there in H-Town, Texas. So as our room fills up, what's going on, Tiecia? I'm so proud of you, sis. I want you guys to let us know where it is that you're viewing our session from. This week, of course, has been an amazing week. We have more people who've been able to get accepted into law school. It's a beautiful thing. And I want you guys out there to be able to see. I hope when you see our stories, you're able to see yourself. See yourself and being able to overcome the challenges that you're currently going through. They could be either one, the bar. They could be the LSAT. They could be overcoming an addendum to be able to navigate your lawyer dreams. And so, of course, I'm holding it down over here in St. Louis, Missouri. Not my favorite place, but the place where God has me. I want you to let me know where it is that you're viewing our session from. Of course, we got Chicago in the house. We got Atlanta in the house. We got H-Town in the house. Of course, I see you, Shy. Nancy, my girl over there in Dallas, doing it big. And so let's go ahead and let our room continue to fill up. And I'm really excited because I really want you guys to utilize this space as a space for you guys to get answers that you need. All right? I know that right now, a lot of us are carrying heavy hearts. Am I right? A lot of our hearts are in New Jersey, but a lot of our hearts, of course, are in Springfield, Illinois. I know this weekend I'm definitely going to be going down to Springfield, Illinois to participate in some of the events. Understand, one thing I am kind of happy about the incidents that took place is that the attorneys have definitely acted swiftly. But nevertheless, I wish that we did not have to have another incident where we're thinking about how police have dropped the ball. But it does bring me some form of comfort to know that the legal system, at least to the point when it comes to lawyers in Springfield, are definitely handling their business. So I know our hearts are there. And so let's go ahead and get our guest on. I see again we got Jersey in the house. What's going on, Amaya? What's going on, Vince? What's going on, Yvette? What's going on, Reggie? What's going on, Nikki? All right, so let's go ahead and get our amazing guests on. We're going to have some amazing conversations. And again, one of the things I always tell you guys is during our series, make sure you fill my chat box up with questions, because this is a space not just for you to sit there and watch and observe, but also for you guys to get answers. And the people that we bring on our show, they're also here to answer y'all questions. Because guess what, man? A lot of them did not have anyone to ask questions. And they had to figure it out blind on their own. And she's in this space to be able to go ahead and help you guys not have to make those same decisions. All right, let's go ahead and get her on. What it actually working like it's supposed to. What's going on, G? What's going on, PreLaw J, baby? What's going on, Maya?
Hello,
what it
hello.
do, Queen? How we doing, sis?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Man, when I made that post in my stories of you just with the settlement checks, I was like, okay, I see you, sis. I see you. But nevertheless, before we go ahead and start, I definitely want to give you an opportunity, I guess, to make a formal introduction before we kind of jump into it, because I always view so many amazing women attorneys as being unicorns. And you being a mom as well. What's going on, King? It also provides an opportunity for so many other moms out there to be able to see the blueprint.
Mhm.
Because clearly, just keep it above. You are the blueprint.
Yeah.
And I want to go ahead and give you the floor so you can introduce yourself. We're going to take it from there, sis.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. So my name is Tiecia Ayers, born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, small town. I came to Houston in 2015, attended U of H. But an interesting part of my story is that I started off at Charleston School of Law and transferred here. So, worked in the PI industry for someone for several years and kind of learned the ropes and then leaped out, you know. And with God by my side, I've been running my own law firm since 2021. So we in year 3, we doing well.
Wow. That is amazing.
Thank
And you
you.
said Charleston School of Law. I was like, oh, snap. That's the school I got up there.
Is it? Okay.
Small world. But the thing that's amazing about it is I want to ask you this question. I'm going to give you some brown sugar vibes right here. Is I ask everybody this question. The first question is this: when did you fall in love with law? Because let's keep it a bug, sis. This law thing ain't always given. It's sometimes it's hella hard, and it be taken more than it gives a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. So, as a child, I just woke up with this dream. It was just inside of me. And growing up, high school, I did well. I never really put forth the effort or walked around like I'm about to be this attorney. It just all, worked out in my favor. I made good grades. I applied to IU for groups, got accepted. So I didn't do much preparation, but God just kind of planted me and it just flowed. So once I finished up with undergrad, I kind of was like, okay, next is law school. And that's when I really dug deep and realized that this is my passion. This is what I'm, made to do. And that's what I did. I packed up. Me and my son, I had a second grader at the time, and we packed up and moved to Charleston, South Carolina, just the two of us with our car. Everything in our house, we sold and gave away, put it up, and we just moved.
Wow. And had a little beach life on the Palmetto State and living it up. I know that
I
feeling. I remember
wish
doing
I
the
did
same
not get
thing.
to enjoy it because 1 L year it gave 1 L year. I didn't get to enjoy the beach at all. But I'll be back next. I'm coming actually next week for a classmate of mine, her engagement party. So I'm gonna enjoy the beach next week.
Oh, you got plenty of choices. I miss the beach life now. But
Hmm.
one of the things I think that's amazing about this journey is like, I think one thing, a common thread that everybody kind of goes through is when you have to make your first change. And I
Hmm.
feel like for so many of us, let's be a buck. Undergrad was just kind of, high school was kind of like, it was in neutral, you know? But then the first time we had to make that change, it was like, oh, snap, this is kind of different. And
Right.
so I want you to tell me about that first pivot that you had to make and how did you adjust to it?
So basically, I would say, once it came time to let's start with the LSAT, I didn't do well. Let's go there. And so I applied to all of the schools in Texas. I was already in Texas because I went to undergrad here. And I didn't get accepted into any schools until I had already moved to Charleston. TSU called, but I had already relocated. So I would say, making that leap of faith to actually get on the road and move. I said, you know what, I'm putting my all into this and I'm gonna make it happen. So I would say like that drive, it was emotional, it was heavy, but I knew that okay, this is what's about to happen. And I made it to Charleston. I was, in a bigger city, so it was hard to adjust, but I just gave it my all. I did well my first year. And that's when I started kind of looking around. I was talking to a couple of, because I'm first generation, I started talking to
Yeah.
people. They're like, well, you know what? You're at the top of your class. You need to do this. You need to apply here. You need to do that. And so the more I started digging, once I started doing well and building that confidence, because let's face it, when you do bad on the LSAT after you've been a great student all of your life, it shatters you.
Yeah, you get
It
shook.
does something.
Absolutely.
And then being in law school, you're graded on the curve. So everybody's smart in law school. So again, being in that position where you're now being graded against all smart people, it does something to you.
Mhm.
So, you just digging in and just trying your best to stay focused, really.
And the thing that's amazing, for you guys to just join us, we're on the line with Tiecia Ayers, attorney. She's got her own shingle, doing her own thing. And she's also here to try to show you how to do the same thing as well. Now the thing about it, you guys, is she says she's first gen. In addition to that, listen, sometimes it's just about getting into law school. After
Yeah.
that, man, we can stunt and then we can pivot and make options.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I want you guys out there to be able to realize. So let's say you have a certain idea of where you want to go. Sometimes that pathway may just have a brief detour. And
Mm-hmm.
don't miss out on that. Do not think that means that you cannot go to law school. That means that you're just going to have to redirection. And sometimes that happens all the time in life. We kind of think about the GPS when it's like redirecting. And so
Mm-hmm.
what this journey is going to be about. And so one of the things I think that's amazing about it is, so you went to law school while having your son. A
Yeah.
lot of people out there will say, well, you should wait until your son's in school, or you should wait until he graduates. I know we have some parents out there who are trying to figure out how to do those, to balance both of those. So go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and give us a tea. I know I did it. I had 3 while I was in law school. So how'd you
Yeah.
do it, sis?
So it was a lot. He was right there with me. I remember one year in law school, he was in the library with me. You know, my friends were his friends. I met Miss Kitty. She lived underneath me. She charged me $5 an hour to keep my son. God sends those that are going to help you, that you're going to be able to trust. But just, allowing him to see that, it was beautiful in itself, because we were just, struggling. We were just barely making ends meet, and now we have a world of opportunity. And so I would say that always, I had my child when I was 19, so I've always had a child my whole adult life. Me being able to, like, always remember, like, I want to be someone that my child is proud of. So
Mm.
I'm not gonna wait until he's 20 and out of my house. I'm gonna get that right now. So now, I graduated from law school when he was probably about in the eighth, seventh, eighth grade, middle school. And he'll be graduating high school next year. And so he's able to see, this journey. Had I waited, or had I let people talk me out of it, my child would be an adult before I made it to my dream. And I wanted him to be able to see this now.
And the thing that's amazing, you guys out there, because again, for a lot of us, myself included, we were kind of navigating this space blind. We didn't know really how to go about it.
Yeah.
But there are so many law schools out there that provide support for us during this journey. I know Charleston definitely put me on with
Mm-hmm.
funds to be able to just help me to be able to, go a little bit over the
Yeah.
ramen noodle diet. But there's programs out there for you guys. And I want you guys,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no shame in bringing your kids to class. Shoot, I brought
Nope.
all 3 of my kids to class.
Mm-hmm.
Headphones, tablets, let's go. And a part of that process, you guys, and Nancy, I hope you're out there listening too. A part of that process, you're normalizing you going for your dreams, so that
Yeah.
that serves as a planting a seed to them that they could do it too. And
Mm-hmm.
so now you got through law school, the bar, woo, caused some trauma. But I want to know, like, how was it when you finally got sworn in? How did that feel? When it's just like, wow, this started at 19. Now,
Unbelievable.
damn, I did it.
Yeah, unbelievable. Still to this day, I look back and I'm like, wow, I feel like in the even starting my journey and, working for people and the different things that I went through to get here, I'm still in a place of looking back and saying, wow, all that I went through is really just now making sense this year. Last year, I struggled, but we all are gonna have our ups and downs. We're all gonna have good days and bad days. We're gonna doubt, we're gonna question, but it's just a matter of staying grounded and rooting and just reminding yourself, if you look at the journey of where you started, where I started, I can't do anything but be grateful about where I am now.
Mm.
But it's
I guess
it's
you taking us
hard.
to church on Wednesday, right? I
Ah,
guess we having some Wednesday night
oh,
Bible study over here. We about to drop some scriptures and everything, y'all. But
I
nevertheless, the
couldn't
thing that's
even lie.
amazing about it is it's just like every challenge prepares you for the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that's oftentimes what's amazing, I really wanted to explore with you, is it's just like it's so easy to be able to work for somebody else under somebody else's name.
Right.
What was that experience like for you? What was it? What happened to make you be like, okay, it's time for me to hang up my own shingle and start building
Um,
my legacy?
I would say just looking around. once I got the experience and, going into taking the bar after graduation, I didn't know what area of practice I wanted to be in. I didn't really have, a solid idea or even a solid plan. I'm trying to make it one day at a time.
Yeah.
So I would say that, my first job, got it pretty easily, straight out of the bar exam. And sat there, learned, looked around. I had different experiences that made me uncomfortable. And so, I watched people get mistreated. I watched clients get mistreated. That made me know, okay, I have the same law degree as this person. I have the same opportunity as this person. Let me figure this out. And so one thing that I'm happy about, my paralegal Kathy is online. Our clients, I wouldn't say family, or I don't want to be cliche, but we treat them like people. We treat them like we care. I do things to make sure that they feel that they can trust us, that they're being looked at, not as a number, but hey, thank you for allowing us to represent you. Like, it's an honor. I appreciate this opportunity because although I'm getting my clients paid, that's how I pay my bills. So just having the opportunity to be able to have that space, that safe space with my name, to be able to treat others how I would want to be treated. I think that was something that I kind of saw early on, where I was just like,
So when did you realize that, okay, I want to open my own practice? What happened to make you like, okay, I've got enough experience. Now it's time for me to do my
honestly, I started looking at the numbers.
own.
A lot of firms,
Don't lie.
are paying you a set salary, and you're required to work X amount of days, X amount of weekends, X amount of, um, night hours or whatnot. So once I broke down the numbers versus of what we're being paid to how many hours, we're not getting paid a lot, right? We're not getting paid overtime. We're not getting paid for, all of the weekends and all of the times I'm missing out on, my sons. That's not bringing me extra money. And I also started thinking about, if I actually settle one case a month for 30,000, which is the minimum policy in Texas, that's one case is going to bring me the same amount of money as it is for me to clock in and work 60 hours a week on this clock. So when I started analyzing, I'm like, I'm used to being a certain type of mother. I'm used to being, a certain person to my family, to my loved ones. And I missed out on, several years. And that kind of broke me as a woman because I was kind of secluded. I didn't have a life. I couldn't have a life, working at the firm that, the firms that require that from you. So I just did the math and I said, girl, math say boss up.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. The thing that's amazing about how you broke it down, you said the math ain't mathing. I can actually make more by spend more time with my family by hanging my own shingle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an amazing thing to be able to do. Now, what goes into actually starting your own law firm? Because I think, people don't even know what that looks like. What is that process like?
It was a lot. So thankfully, my opportunity was a bit different because it was in the middle of COVID. So I was able to start working for the SBA from home. It was overtime, but we was paid overtime. We got plenty of hours, and I was able to use that time to go ahead and file for my, my PLLC, get the bank accounts, the IOTAs going, work on websites, and just do that research. I was watching YouTube videos. I was reading books, anything I could. Because again, I didn't have anybody. And to be honest, because of what I went through, I was very private and to myself. Nobody really knew what I was working on. Nobody knew what I was doing. And so, thankfully, once I started, just posting about, me, being my genuine self, letting people know what I have to offer. The flow has been flowing nonstop. And so it was just a matter of sitting down, doing the research, taking the time. It's not difficult, it's time consuming though. And it
And I think
wasn't
the amazing
expensive.
thing is it's like you know, after everything you kind of overcome in your life, it's just like, well, you know, it's something new. And this is just something new that is unfamiliar, but it's going to only remain unfamiliar as long as I allow it to be.
Yes.
And then after that, it's about just building off of that foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's been some of the most rewarding experiences that you've had thus far by opening your own practice?
Oh my God. I've just honestly felt like, again, you know, everybody has their days, but overall, I feel more at peace because I know and I feel the alignment, you know, which when I was going through certain things, it wasn't adding up. I wasn't feeling secure, you
Yeah.
know, and that's one of the things that I worked my whole life to be an attorney. So to have, certain experiences, it affected me more probably than the average person because I didn't just wake up at 30 and say I'm going to be this. I've worked for it my entire life.
Right.
So, for me, the security, right? I'm able to mentor. I'm able to have time to do things like this, speak to young women or, older people that are looking to change a career. I'm able to take that time to take vacations and trips, with my children or my family. I'm able to cook a meal. So more than anything, I'm just blessed and happy to be an example in the best way that I can. Nobody is perfect, but I feel like everything that I went through, it wasn't just because, oh, Tiecia, you just doing. No, it was because certain things I had to go through to be able to motivate or speak to or relate to other people on certain levels.
Hold on. Y'all just check what she just said. Sometimes you got to go through hardships and challenges to be able to elevate and take it to the next level. And so,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys out there that's thinking that, oh my God, this is going through, it's because you're called for something greater.
Yeah.
And the only way to be able to exercise at that next level, you kind of got to evolve and transform. And so, those challenges are put in that place to force you to transform. Or guess what? God gonna teach you that lesson again and again.
Yeah.
And this is how it flows. But one of the things I think that's amazing about law, and then when you start your journey, is even though there's parts of it that are very isolating, you also begin to learn the importance of networking and building relationships.
Yes.
And I want you to be able to share, like how has networking been able to help in regards to benefiting your practice and also benefiting your experience as a lawyer so far?
Networking in itself, and that's one thing that I'm working on this year and this year alone, this month alone, we had an explosion. Networking, it gives you so much as far as number one, a support system. You want to be able to call on, your elders or people that's been in the game a little bit longer, somebody that can relate to you to encourage you, even if it's just in the law. I'm able to also, referrals. I send people cases, people send me cases. When I first started, one of my friends in South Carolina that, opened up her own practice. Well, she wasn't familiar with PI. So, you know what we did? I trained her and we split the attorney fees down the middle. So we're both making money. I'm not going to charge somebody up front. It's like, let's work through it together, sis, and we both going to make money. Those clients still come back to, the both of us. So connections and, giving back and, humble enough to ask for help, people are going to naturally want to help you, want to desire to help you, desire to pour in. So it's just a matter of, being open to receive and communicate with people. And I feel like that's something that I kind of had to grow into because, as an attorney and as a woman in this field, you kind of shut down at times. But the more I open up, the more that I feel like I've been able to receive.
And that's a blessing, y'all. I hope you guys are able to really touch base and get what you the importance of building relationships yield tremendous dividends. You never want to burn bridges because one thing that's kind of crazy about the legal field is it's a lot smaller than you realize.
Right.
And also in that process, you never know how by building those bridges, how that's something that you may be able to cross back over. Mm-hmm. So I mean, just think about it. You just talked about somebody from South Carolina. You over here doing things in Texas. Mm-hmm. And so those relationships become something tremendously important. And one of the things I think that's been amazing, sis, is because of technology now, it's so much easier for us to be able to build those relationships. And I know one of the things I've really, really tried to preach to people out there, to y'all, yeah, y'all out there listening and watching this, is how easy it is to be able to start their process of networking. I know that they have like Black Lawyers Associations in Texas. You can go to court. And I know one of the things I say is I'd be like, how much it costs to go to court? It's free. How much it costs to go to a lawyers association meeting? It's free. And these are excellent places to be able to meet and greet and connect with people to build meaningful relationships. And one of the things that I always like to ask you guys is on this journey, right? Boy, it's a lot of times that we end up having to learn about ourselves. What is the biggest lesson that this lawyer journey has taught you about yourself? Because I feel like this lawyer journey, no matter where you are in it, really it's a whole bunch of lessons of you learning about yourself and how to be the best version of yourself.
Yes, I feel like this journey has allowed me to open up more, and I would say be more open to ask for help. If anything, I have not always been that type of person. I'm a do what I have to do. I'm a struggle. I'm a mind my business. But just being able to say, you know what, I need help. That has opened up doors. And two of my interns right now, they reached out to me, cold call, or wrote me on Instagram. Hi, I'm looking for a mentor. Hi, I'm looking for an internship. I haven't been able to get an opportunity or experience. Okay, send me your resume. Okay, let's meet. And they've been with me. So I would say that to say that that's a place that I've been in my journey as well. Asking business owners. I'm an attorney. They didn't teach me how to run a law firm in law school.
Right.
I didn't know this where I was going to be. But being able to be open enough to say, hey, I need help. How do I do this? How can I grow? How can I make sure that my client experience is better? My paralegal had been with me because I had a really good case and they spoke Spanish. And I'm like, hey, can you help me? And she joined and she's been with me. Me being able to just open up my mouth and ask, that doesn't come natural to me. So that's something that I've been, and I feel like that has opened up just big doors for me.
And, I mean, think about it, right? I actually, as we were talking, I was like, think about it though, right? At least from up to adulthood, right? For so many people on their lawyer journey, they haven't had to ask for help. And so the
We thought we
first
was
time
all
a lot of
that.
people are having to ask for help is that thing called the LSAT.
Oh
Then
yeah.
after that, I mean, you had to get coached. You had to get somebody you had to take a prep course. That
Yeah.
was foreign to us. But literally, I think like what's amazing on this lawyer journey is it's forcing you have to
Yes.
learn to ask for help. In order to take the next step, you got to ask for help. A lot of us, we didn't see teachers or professors during office hours. Law school, damn it, I got to go ask for help. Dang it, I got to go do my research
Yes.
and writing instructor. Dang it, I want a clerkship. I got to ask for help.
Yeah.
This whole process is about opening up doors for you to be able to elevate higher. Requires you to do what? Ask for help. And it seems as if, hey, sis, I mean, you the one throwing them checks out there. It shows the benefit and how asking for help ends up benefiting you in the long run. And so one of the questions I always like to ask, I know right now on this journey, we have people right now prepping for the bar exam. We got people right now that's in the midst of studying for the LSAT. Some people, sis, they got their rejections. They haven't got accepted into law school. And I always like to give you guys the floor to provide a word of encouragement to them. Because you and I both know this journey is full of peaks and valleys, a lot of valleys. And sometimes, we got an encouraging word to help us take the next step. So I want to give you the floor to inspire the next gen to keep fighting. Go ahead, sis.
So I'm here to tell you all, as a first generation attorney, business owner, mother, nothing can stand in the way of what you have, what you work for, what you pursue, what you plan for, what you prepare for. It's nothing that should stand in the way. If you don't make it the first time, do it again. I got denied every law school in Texas. Guess what I did? I moved to a whole nother state with my son. I then, scored high my first year and transferred out. Not that I always had that plan, but I found out that was an opportunity. nothing can stand in the way when you are prepared, when you're flowing, and when you're doing your best. God is going to do the rest. I feel that, just being able to ask people for help, being able to be humble enough to say how, taking the time to, for the bar exam, I study 15 hours a day. Put forth the extra so that you don't have to repeat it, so that when you finalize something, you can say, I did all that I can do. I think that's the most important thing. When you do all that you can do, then it will be done. So I look forward to hearing from anyone that does have questions, that would like to be mentored. Reach out. I'm always available. I'm very open. And, I look forward to great things for you all.
Absolutely. Now I got some questions that I received in the post box over here, and
Okay.
I want to be able to ask them if that's okay with you. So
Yes.
one of the first
My
questions that
my
I
app,
see
my
here.
iPad is giving me trouble. I'm gonna log on with my phone, okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna
You
hang up.
straight? Hey, there we go. Hey, you guys, fill the chat box up with questions. I know I have some questions that were sent to me, so you guys will be able to get the answers that you need. All right, there we go. Pop it up. Let's go. All right, let's see here. Congratulations to Tiecia on getting engaged, sis. Congratulations to you and Jared. I see you in the chat. All right, let's see here. Amy, what's going on? Your favorite? What's going on? What's going on, Johanna? But nevertheless, she's going to be rejoining us. I think she was having some tech issues. She's going to be there in a second. But nevertheless, while we're here, I want you guys to be able to understand some of the gems of what she said. First off, this just went to law school with a +1 and did her damn thing. And even though it forced her to go outside of her comfort zone. So to all you guys out there that think going to law school has to happen in your state, this just moved to go to law school. This dream is going to take you places. And one of the places most definitely going to take you out of is going to take you out of your comfort zone. But you don't want your comfort. Don't let your comfort zone cost you your lawyer dreams, y'all. Do not let that comfort zone cost you your lawyer dreams. Are we back, sis? In full effect?
Sorry about that. Yes.
So one of the questions I had here in the chat is someone wanted to know, what GPA did you have when you transferred? Because I think people really don't know about the transfer process. Like you didn't even really know about it. It's almost just like this thing that people are aware that happens, but don't know how the process goes.
And guys, again, I got into no law schools, right, in Texas. I submitted my transfer applications to about all of them, and I literally got into every school, including, UT waitlisted me. So eventually they said no, but the fact that I was waitlisted at UT, I went from barely getting in because of my LSAT score to being waitlisted. But I don't remember my exact GPA, but I was at the top 15% of my 1L class. So I believe I may have gotten 1B and the rest were A's.
That code for sis was killing it. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that I want you guys to understand is at the end of the day, the goal is to get into law school. After you get into law school, and if you do the damn thing your first year,
Yes.
which is going to be the hardest year of law school anyway, you're gonna be right to check to any law school that you want to go to.
Yes.
To the point that sis is over here making decisions. Oh, which one I want to go to? Which one writing the
Mm-hmm.
biggest check? Which
I
one
was
is
shocked.
am I
Yes.
right? And so you guys
Mm-hmm.
out there, I want you guys to understand that sometimes a delay is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
It does not mean it's over. It just means that we have to make some changes. And
Mm-hmm.
those changes, ultimately, let's keep it a buck, sis, benefited you in the end.
Yeah, it did.
All right, I got some other questions for you, sis. And so one of the questions people ask is, I see here in the question box, it says, how did you go about, what was the planning like when you had to relocate with your son? Because I think a lot of people out there are kind of nervous. I mean, staying in your comfort zone, where the fam is, where the crew is, it's comforting. A lot of people
Yes.
are afraid to take that leap, but sis, you did it. And I think
Yeah.
it's so important. I wanted to have you on because a lot of moms, a lot of dads out there, they're like, no, my family's here, so I'm staying here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was one of the biggest sacrifices I can say I made. and that it was necessary. I believe it happened just how it had to happen so that I could move away from my family and have this alone time because I studied every day, all day. I didn't work. I didn't, have any extracurriculars. I studied. So my planning was I'm moving out of my apartment. I sold and gave away everything. I only went with my car and what was in my car. I moved to Savannah, Georgia with my dad. I worked the summer, I saved, and then Charleston was about an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
We moved closer to the time that it was, school was about to start. I mean, everything in my apartment was yard sale or hand-me-downs. And that's really how I had to live my first year. Second year, even when I transferred and came to Houston, that's what I had. I couldn't worry about living in luxury and having a certain lifestyle. I just did the bare minimum. And even the loans and, grants and everything, they're not considering that I have a
Yeah.
child, a little boy that needs his own room and his space. So my living situation was on a different level because I needed a cheaper home so that I could get two bedrooms where everybody else had super nice one bedrooms. I couldn't do that and I couldn't compare myself. I just had to do what was necessary and what fit my budget. I couldn't keep up with everybody else.
I hope you guys got that. I hope so. This journey ain't about comfort, y'all. Like, you're making a down payment, and now sis is going on vacations with the fam, going all over the place. But it
Mhm.
first started with the down payment and the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you were to talk to any lawyer out there, so many lawyers have a similar story. And I hope that you guys, by hearing her story, are able to be like, okay, all right, it's about to be tough, but
Mhm.
sis did it. I could
Yeah.
I could figure this out. And this space is also for you guys to understand that because it is tough doesn't mean it doesn't disqualify you from still being able to do it.
Mhm.
I mean, it's gonna, and one of the things I keep telling people in posts is I tell people, when it comes to law school, it ain't about the nightlife. It's about the law life. I mean,
Mhm.
even though I'm sure it was in H Town, but the H Town view from the lens of a law student as opposed to somebody that's in the city is different. So
Yeah.
how was that transition for you? That's a random question. I just wonder, how was that transition going from Charleston beach life back to H Town?
I had a ball. Let
I
me
know.
tell you. I,
We exist again. Oh my God, I see black people. What?
I had a ball, y'all. I ate. I, did the best I could to enjoy myself. I also clerked. I was a clerk for a judge. He brought me along to happy hours and different networking events. And, I would go and I would eat good and I would, meet different people. And I really enjoyed myself. Like he said, after that first year, you're picking some of your classes. You have a little bit more flexibility. You can take some, easier electives. So I just used it to my advantage and I enjoyed myself once I transferred.
I mean, and for you guys out there, you may say, but how does it happen? Because this whole process, and even, sisters talk about going through it now, it's really, law school is, it's all really about you learning you.
Yeah.
Because really, the first year of law school, you guys, you're breaking a lot of habits that you had from high school and college.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then after it's like second semester, it clicks. All right, this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Then the bar comes up. Then you gotta do another switch. Okay, this is what I gotta do. And I
Yeah.
think the thing that's amazing, I want someone asked in the chat, like, what was your biggest settlement in opening when you started your own firm?
Hmm.
She's like, how many commas? How much? Huh.
I'm really thinking. I would say closer to 300,000. I would say PI.
How did that feel?
It felt good. So what I can say, as you all know, is three law schools in
Mm-hmm.
Houston. It's a lot of us. But I'm from a small town in Indiana, so I get a lot of cases from there. I would say I get bigger cases from there because there's not a lot of competition. So that's where, meeting people and staying connected and still, reaching out to other attorneys in different places in different states. All of that is quite necessary because guess what? If I have, like right now, I have a case in Indiana where a minor was killed by a train. Well, we need that to go into litigation immediately. Okay, I have partners in Indiana because I get a lot of cases, the big top money cases from there. So just staying connected, that's probably going to be my biggest coming forward, I'm
And
claiming.
let me just, break it down for the folks that don't understand that. So hold on, they're saying, but how is it that you practice in Texas, but you have cases in Indiana? And this
Hmm.
is why I think it's so beautiful because of that foundation of you being able to pick up and move. It's now,
Yep.
man, when it comes to being versatile and pivoting, man,
Hmm.
I got this.
Yep.
So break that down to them because we have a lot of people who don't know how that process works.
So basically, I have specific law firms in different states that handle my cases for me if it goes into litigation. If it's just a settlement, I settle my own cases. But if we need to sue, those attorneys take over and I'm still able to be compensated, although they are doing the work on those cases. Or if it's the case that I just don't care to take, I refer it out even if it's here and I'm still being able to get compensated. So like I told my assistant today, we're going to be a little bit more picky and we're going to refer out because we don't have time or energy for, everything. So that is something that is a plus that, as an attorney, you can get paid off of cases and
Wow.
not really.
I'm
Hmm.
sure some people, and I see Chrissy, she put that the fire up. I mean, this is goals, you guys. This is something that all comes down to you
Hmm.
being willing to be able to one. I think when we look at the summary of this, is to be like, asking for help is one, two, stepping out your comfort zone, and three, man, building bridges because you never know what
Yeah.
bridges you got to cross back over. I mean, shoot, all my folks out there that's born in those small towns, man, that may be a town where you could be able to dominate in. I mean,
Hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So let's see. We
Yeah.
got
And I would say that I'm a supporter. If you want people to show up for you, show up for people. That's key in anything that you desire to do. I might need a babysitter. I might need, somebody to help with a tire. I might need to refer a case. So being a supporter of other people, God always makes sure that I'm supported.
I mean, and sis, wow, wow. I wonder, like, for you, it's just like, did you find this process as being something that happened fast? Or are you able to look, or are you like, man, like, this is all happening fast? Because to go from working for someone to now being the name on the door, I mean, it has to be a
Mhm.
surreal moment where sometimes you just step back and say, look at God. Wow, this is amazing.
And a lot of times people would tell me, like random people, or, somebody might be like, your dad said he proud because I'm living in it. So I don't get to feel good about it all the time. It takes, having that other person acknowledge and sometimes remind you, like, oh, I'm proud. Oh, girl, you doing that. That sometimes is necessary. So I think about it sometimes, and sometimes I'm too busy to even realize what's happening.
Yeah, life is life,
Mhm.
right? We saw that last week. Life was life, and I remember
Yeah.
that was going on. I see
Yeah.
UK Danny said that she wrote that she said that your goals. She said she's so nervous.
Thank
So how do you
you.
deal with the anxiety and nervousness that comes with that?
Ooh, yeah, I'm still working on it. I would say that I felt my best and I feel my best when I am intentional. Intentional for me is I have to do some form of exercise. I need to walk, I need to run, I need to pray. On Mondays, I fast. I don't eat until 6 p.m. I'm on fluids and I'm taking that time. I also meditate. Sometimes you just have to stop thinking about everything going on around you and talk to you, hear you. Journaling, therapy. What we go through to get here and what we go through in this process is
Yes.
traumatic. Talking to someone that's not a loved one that can actually point you in the direction of being able to deal with that trauma, to be able to deal with that disappointment, to be able to deal with, oh my goodness, I never failed anything and now I cannot do anything with this LSAT. Or, oh, this job is, they're saying I'm this, or, I'm trying my best. Everybody else is being treated better than me. Now I'm internalizing all of that. So you have to be able to deal with those things. And it takes effort, intentional effort.
Wow. Again, means you have to ask for help, right? That's the
Yep.
thing that's so surreal about it. Sis, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and the thing about it, I think I wanted to first thank you for taking the time to come on the show.
You're
I'm
welcome.
extremely grateful. I hope that this conversation has been a blessing to so many people out there who
So,
are having doubts about their dreams. And by hearing your
mhm.
story and seeing you winning and not being satisfied, because I'm sure you got more goals that you're trying to set, is
And,
something that's going to plant seeds of hope and inspire. Because the challenge is just there to help us grow. It's not there to
yeah.
make us quit. And so I'll
Hmm.
give you the final words, and I'll
It kind of went
I'll
out.
say my
Thank you
bad.
for having
I'll
me.
give you the final words, and so we can go ahead and close out the show.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Again, I'm an open book. Please feel free to reach out. Stay grounded, plan, prepare, set out that goal in writing. Write it out. Make it clear and just work towards it. Whether that's day by day, week by week, just continue going and just don't stop because eventually you're going to get there if you don't stop. So, one of the main things that I have stressed, I didn't realize I was stressing it, is asking for help. It goes a long way. So, do me the honor of letting me know if you have questions, if you need support, if you need directions. I'm always there. I'm always able to point you in the right direction. I have plenty of, bar exam, information. Just, be open. Like, we are here and we don't take it lightly. He has this platform to help, to push you, to encourage you. So reach out and make sure that you're utilizing the resources available to you, because we all in this together.
Absolutely. Now is not the time to be scared, y'all. We are family,
Not now.
we cousins, we kin folks, and in some way we're all touching and connected to each other. I want you guys to continue to fight for your lawyer dreams. And sis told you
Yes.
guys to reach out, so don't be scared. She's here to help. We're all here to help because by
Hmm.
us extending a hand forward, we're also making a better community for the next generation to come. You guys continue to fight for your lawyer dreams. We'll see you guys again next Wednesday on Making the Case. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.